God said in Psalms, He will crown the year with a bountiful harvest. Even the hard places will overflow with abundance. You can go around saying, this is such a tough year. I can't wait till it's over. Or you can say, Father, thank you that even in hard times, I will have more than enough. Thank you that you're an overflow God, that you're not limited by my circumstances. You're not limited by the economy. Lord, I thank you that I'm blessed in a down year. I'm favored in a famine. I'm prosperous in a pandemic. I overflow. I have more than enough joy, more than enough strength, more than enough health. That's steering your ship toward increase, steering your ship toward overflow. I talked to a young lady. She was very successful in her career, but when the pandemic hit, things started to slow down, and she was concerned about how it was going to work out. She heard me talking about how this was going to be an overflow year, how the economy is not our source, but God is our source. Something came alive on the inside. She started saying that all through the day, repeating it under her breath again and again. Lord, thank you that the economy is not my source, but you are my source. Thank you for an overflow year. It looked just the opposite. Things were going down, decreasing, yet she was declaring increase, declaring favor, talking about the greatness of our God. What was she doing? Steering her ship in the right direction. In difficult times, it's easy to talk about the problem, complain, be negative. That's when you have to dig down deep and say, no, I'm going to keep speaking victory. God, you're my provider. You're my healer. You're my way maker. I may not see how it can happen, but I know you're still in control. She and her husband decided to start their own business. Against all odds, it took off more than they ever imagined. They just closed on their first house. Their business continues to increase. She said, in the midst of all this uncertainty, with people afraid, struggling, we've seen favor in ways we've never dreamed. That's what the scripture says. Even in hard times, the righteous will have more than enough. I don't think this would have happened if she would have gone around negative, complaining. Pay attention to which way you're steering your ship. What you're constantly talking about, you're drawing in. When you're always bragging on the greatness of our God, talking about what He can do, declaring what He promised, you're going to draw in blessings, favor, increase. Psalm 35 says, let them continually say, let the Lord be magnified, who takes pleasure in the prosperity of His children. It's interesting that they were supposed to continually say this. You would think they could say it once, twice, that would be enough. But there's something powerful when you go through the day, not talking about how big the problem is, how your back will probably never stop hurting, how you don't see how that child's going to turn around. Instead, you're saying, let God be magnified, who takes pleasure in prospering me, who takes pleasure in healing me, who takes pleasure in favoring me. Are you taking time to declare God's goodness over your life? Are you speaking victory over your future? It's not enough to do it every once in a while. It needs to become a habit where all through the day we're declaring that we're blessed, we're strong, we're healthy. When you wake up in the morning, Lord, thank you for another beautiful day. And Lord, thank you that something good is going to happen to me today. Thank you that your favor is surrounding me. Blessings are chasing me down. Angels are watching over me. That you being for me is more than the world being against me. That's setting your rudder in the right direction. You can't be silent and reach your potential. Nothing happens until you speak. Your words give life to your faith. Things that have held you back for years, addictions, lack, depression, insecurity. This may be in your family line for generations. Looks like that's your lot in life. Thoughts will tell you, just accept it. That's who you are. But God is saying, I'm about to break some generational curses. I'm about to put an end to what's held you back. That depression is not staying in your family line. That addiction is not going to be passed to the next generation. That struggle and lack is not your destiny. This is a new day. The God who spoke worlds into existence is breaking chains. Chains of defeat, chains of mediocrity, chains of depression. It's not going to be the way it used to be. You're stepping into a new season. You're going to have a strength that you didn't have. Things are going to fall into place. You're not going to have to fight. God is cutting through the bars of iron. That means He's going to make things happen that you couldn't make happen. You didn't have the talent to do it on your own. You didn't have the connections. The odds were against you, but it's suddenly going to turn around. You're suddenly going to step into a new level. You're suddenly going to break that addiction. How could this be? The God who goes before you is breaking the chains, cutting through bars of iron. I talked to a gentleman last week. He had been an alcoholic for 30 years. This is all he had known. Growing up, he watched his father and grandfather struggle with alcohol. It looked like this addiction would keep getting passed from generation to generation. He had tried to stop, but wasn't able to, and now he was accepting it. One day, he was so miserable, he said, God, I can't do this anymore. Please send somebody to help me. He specifically prayed, God, send me a counselor. Just so happened, he flipped on our Sirius XM channel. He would listen for hours and hours every day. He said with tears running down his cheeks, Joel, you became my counselor. You were the answer to my prayer. For the first time in 30 years, he's been sober for 8 months. He couldn't do it on his own, but God broke the chains. God cut through the bars of iron. There may be things that have held you back for a long time. Every voice tells you it's never going to change. You're never going to break it, never get well, never meet the right person, never get out of debt. On your own, that may be true. The good news, though, you're not on your own. The Most High God is going before you. He's going to break the chains. And it may not have happened yet, but don't worry, your time is coming. This is your year of yes. Yes to break the addiction. Yes to healing. Yes to meeting the right people. Yes to seeing new doors open.